Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a really profound metaphor, one that truly shapes our lives and our future. The simple but powerful relationship between a single seed and the harvest it eventually produces.
So let's start here. Just imagine holding a tiny seed in the palm of your hand. I mean, it seems like nothing, right? It's so small, maybe even insignificant. But locked away inside of it is the entire blueprint for a massive tree, a place that's going to offer shade and life. It's just an incredible picture of hidden potential.
You know, this is the exact imagery Jesus used to describe the kingdom of God. He said it was like a mustard seed, the smallest of all seeds that grows into this huge tree. Or he said it's like yeast, working quietly and unseen, but completely transforming a whole batch of dough. It's such a great reminder that God's work, which was all set in motion by Christ, so often begins in these small, hidden ways we might not even notice.
And this really shows us a huge contrast, doesn't it? Our world is constantly screaming for instant results, immediate success. But the kingdom of God, well, it operates on a totally different timeline. It's the timeline of eternity, where growth happens patiently, quietly, right beneath the surface.
So you might be asking, okay, what are these seeds then? Well, it's not as complicated as you might think. They are the small, faithful moments of our everyday lives. Every little act of obedience, every word of truth we speak, every quiet prayer, and of course, every single time the message of Jesus is shared. These are the actual seeds being planted in the soil of history. But here's the thing, a seed's potential depends entirely on the ground it falls on. And that brings us to a really personal place, the soil of your heart. It's time for a bit of a spiritual diagnosis.
The Apostle Paul laid out what is basically a foundational spiritual law. And this isn't just a warning, it's more like a law of gravity for the soul. It's a principle of the universe. What we plant, what we sow, directly determines what we're going to harvest. Our actions and our outcomes are always connected.
In one of his most famous parables, Jesus actually broke this down for us. He explained that the very same seed, his message of truth, can land on 4 totally different kinds of soil. There's the hard path, where the truth just sits on the surface and never sinks in. Then there's the shallow soil, where it springs up fast but dies as soon as things get tough. Then you have the thorny ground, where the seed gets choked out by all the worries and distractions of life. But then there's the good soil, a heart that Jesus himself has prepared. And in that soil, the truth doesn't just grow. It thrives and produces an absolutely incredible harvest.
So this brings the focus right back to us, doesn't it? It's a moment for a real heart check. What kind of soil is your heart becoming? Right now, are those seeds of truth finding good, fertile ground in you? Or are they getting crowded out?
Okay, so now let's zoom out a bit and look at the generational harvest. We're going to see how this story stretches across time, transforming each person who is a harvest into a farmer for the next generation.
I want you to just think about this for a second. Who was it that planted seeds of faith in your life? Was it a parent, a pastor, maybe a close friend? The truth is, you are the living result of seeds that someone else faithfully planted, maybe years or even decades ago.
And that's where you come in. The cycle continues right through us. We are now the planters. We're the ones sowing seeds of truth and grace into the lives of other people, seeds that are going to keep growing long after we're gone.
And really, this is the very essence of discipleship. It's not some program or a class. It's this long, patient, generational process of planting seeds that are going to bear fruit for all of eternity.
And from here, we're going to zoom out one last time, all the way out to the final reaping, the absolute culmination of all of human history.
In the book of Revelation, the Apostle John sees this just stunning vision. It's the Son of Man, Jesus himself, holding a sharp sickle, and a voice from heaven declares that the moment has finally come. The harvest of the earth is ripe. But what's so incredible is that this harvest isn't an ending. It's actually a glorious new beginning. It's the great transition, when all those seeds of faith that were sown throughout all of history are finally gathered in. And that's what ushers in the long-awaited reign of Christ on earth, what we call the Millennial Kingdom.
Now, this is not a future we should fear. It's a hope we should be longing for. I mean, just imagine it. A world completely restored under its one true king. Justice with absolutely no corruption. Peace with no more war. And truth with no shadow of deception.
And this is so important to grasp. Your seemingly small, everyday acts of faithfulness, those little mustard seeds you're planting, are all contributing to this incredible future. They're growing into what will one day be a global tree of righteousness under the rule of Christ.
And that brings this whole massive cosmic vision right back down to earth.
to today, to planting for eternity, and why your daily faithfulness matters so much.
Our culture is just obsessed with what's visible, right? With going viral, with public influence. But the kingdom of God places its value somewhere else entirely. It values hidden faithfulness, quiet obedience, and the unseen sacrifices that are only ever seen by heaven.
The bottom line is this: every single day, your life is a field. And every choice you make, every action you take, it's a seed you're planting. And every one of those seeds contributes to a future harvest, for better or for worse.
So let this thought really settle in with you. Your smallest act of faith today is not wasted, it's not meaningless. It could very well be a vital part of that glorious final harvest when Jesus returns. So the question for all of us is, what will you plant?